I play Milton Green in this film, um, who was extraordinarily close to Marilyn. He was probably, out of everyone in the film, probably knew her best of all, really. Um, he has a lot invested in her and the film that they're making. He's the producer of the film that they go off to England to create. And I think he's probably always extraordinarily aware of the chaos that could ensue, knowing her, knowing how volatile she was and could be, and having formulated a relationship with Olivier and understanding who he was and being desperate for this thing to work for all these extremely talented people. By all accounts, the formula should have worked, but it didn't, and he loses control of the situation, and you watch him unravel and things imploding, you know, and he can't do anything about it, and it becomes a bit desperate. But I always wondered how much he was out for his own personal gain in terms of what he made from Marilyn, making her into a company, which was a very forward-thinking idea and concept. So that they would ultimately make more money, so that she wouldn't be taken advantage of. But was that for him or was that for her? And I suspect he was probably, you know, having made a very close bond with her as she had lived with him and his wife, probably was in some way in love with her, and couldn't bear the idea of anyone else maybe getting too close to her. He wanted to make everything sort of okay. He wanted the situation just to be, they needed to get through this time and make a great film, is what he wanted to do. Seeing Michelle make the transformation in the mornings, you know, from the moment you get on set, and knowing how terrifying it must for her to take on someone so monumentally famous, so someone so iconic that I can't imagine what she must have been feeling, but the delicacy and the nuances that she gave the performance, she was so immersed in it, in the mind space, in the physicality, in the vocalization of her. It was just like, it was wonderful to be, I felt completely honored to be witness of this transformation taking place. And it was, and often people can be very removed and difficult to work with when they need to be in that headspace, which I completely also understand, but that can sometimes make quite a difficult working environment, and that's not what she was at all. It was very amenable and easy to communicate with and talk to, even though she was in a very specific place. So it was a wonderful lesson, really, and I was completely, I was very, very moved when I saw the end product of what she was doing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Astonishing performance. Yeah, to play people who have existed raises all sorts of challenges, because you feel a duty and a responsibility to the people who you're portraying. Now, if it's someone like Marilyn Monroe, it's extraordinarily terrifying, because people have preconceived notions of who that person is and what they were like, and they know, whereas someone like Milton Green is much less, people don't know who he is. So there's not nearly as much pressure, and therefore there's a much more artistic license to do what I please, but what I think it gives you, and certainly I enjoy it more than creating someone from scratch or kind of giving someone an inner life and making those decisions for myself. You have all the information to hand of who they are and what they did and what made them tick and what made them excited about what they were doing. So you could, and Simon's wealth of knowledge, you could always refer back. Oh, why does this person do this here? Oh, of course, that relationship with this person. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, I see. So for me, it makes it much more clear. And apart from the responsibility, if you don't care too much about that, you have to interpret someone in your own way as well, which is why Michelle's performance again is so beautiful. And Kenneth, you know, it's you have to have your own interpretation. You have to bring something of yourself to these people as well, So I think it's actually more of a gift to be playing someone who you know a great deal about.